Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing Space Hulk Deathwing. Now Space Hulk Deathwing got a release date for November this year for PC. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to do a small video about what the game is. I'm going to be discussing who the Deathwing are. I'm going to be discussing what an actual Space Hulk is, because some people don't even know what a Space Hulk is. And I'm also going to be discussing the story of the game, because the devs have just released, well I say just released, a couple of days ago they released a nice little text format with some new insights into the story. So I'm going to read off that, and I'm going to discuss what I think may be happening. So let's jump right in and let's start with Space Hulk. So the term Space Hulk is normally given to a ship or wreckage of ships that are basically are floating through space. Now sometimes these ships, multiple ships, actually all crash into each other and form this huge massive Space Hulk. It's not only ships, it's like asteroids and all other stuff you can imagine out in space, all basically just going together and forming this huge massive hulk of iron and death basically floating through space. Now you'll normally find in these Space Hulks that races actually take over them. Orcs are a huge fan of Space Hulks. All the tech that's normally in there and stuff like that they can use to their advantage. Chaos Space Marines have known to use Space Hulks. Tyranids again, which obviously feature in Space Hulk Deathwing, are a huge player when it comes to taking over and using Space Hulks to their own means. Now, when a Space Hulk actually shows up in a system, in an Imperial system, it's basically like a treasure chest normally, because they don't know what's in there. Sometimes it could just be completely abandoned, and it could have, like, these Space Hulks could go back thousands of years, back to like sometimes the Great Crusade. So actually going on and investigating these Space Hulks may give the actual Imperial forces bonuses. They may find like lost tech and all that kind of like amazing stuff. So it's really worth investigating these ships when they actually do appear in the system. But then again, these ships are so unpredictable. Like, they normally just bounce around through the warp and stuff like that, so they're there one day and they're not there the next, and it's basically just a random, just absolutely random if you actually just go run into a Space Hulk. But when it does show up, it's very worth investigating to see what's on there. So let's move on now and let's discuss who are the Deathwing. So the Deathwing are the first company of the Dark Angels. So they're basically the veterans of the Dark Angels chapter. Now, the Dark Angels first company is a lot different from other chapters that follow the Codex Astartes. Now, the Codex Astartes normally has the first company made up of veterans, which the Dark Angels does, but the Dark Angels first company veterans are completely made up of Terminators. There's no tactical devastators or anything like that. It's completely just comprised of Terminator Marines. They're led by Grandmaster Belial. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I always get his name wrong, but yeah, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. So Belial is their basically leader, and one of the things I actually like about the Dark Angels is that within the Dark Angels there's different tiers of rank and position you are. Now, in the first company, you're classed as the inner tier, so you know everything about the Dark Angel, so you know where their secrets. So that means these guys know about the Fallen. So their main priority is capturing, interrogating, and killing the Fallen. So, for example, I've read books where the Dark Angels are on this mission. They're going against orcs or other forces, Xenos forces, and they learn of a Dark Angel actually on that planet, or actually on this around the system they're in, and they completely abandon that planet or their objective of killing the enemy war leader and stuff like that. They just go out and they go for this Fallen. They do not care if that planet falls to orc or anything like that, just as long as they get their Fallen and keep their secret from the rest of the chapters about their chapter splitting up and half of them turning against the Emperor back in the Heresy. So that's Deathwing. just a brief history. I'll actually link the full wiki page for you in the video description if you guys just want to go and read that fully, because it is some really nice stuff there, so I suggest you go and do that. Okay, so let's move on and let's discuss the story of Space Hulk Deathwing. So what I'm going to do, I'm basically going to read from the letter that the devs put out, so we're both on the same page, and then we'll go into some discussion about what I think may be actually in the story for that we're actually going to encounter. So let's jump right in and let's get it read. Okay, so here it is. The story of Space Hulk Deathwing. A colossal mass of derelict ships, asteroids and debris known as the Space Hulk has spilled from the warp. It's entered into a system where the Imperium is already beset by Tyranid hive swarm. The immense Space Hulk is dubbed Olifros. Now I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. The Dark Angels chapter of Space Marines answers the astropathic emergency calls from the beleaguered worlds in the system. However, it's a more important quest that ultimately draws the Dark Angels to the war zone. Azrael, Supreme Grand Master of the Dark Angels, receives dire premonitions from his psychic librarians and dispatches a strike fleet to the Space Hulk. Belial, Grand Master of the Dark Angels' first company, the Deathwing, is charged with boarding the Space Hulk. Azrael's psychers believe the strange visions emanating from the Space Hulk foretell disaster. Not only this, but they seem linked with the distant past of the Dark Angels. You are a librarian who has been chosen to enter the Gene Stealer infested Space Hulk with your squad. In Space Hulk Deathwing, you'll venture deep into the Space Hulk in order to uncover the dark secrets from within. So that is basically the story for Space Hulk Deathwing. It's wrote by Gav Thorpe. If you no one knows who Gav Thorpe is, he's basically the main guy who writes all the Dark Angel stuff. He's got loads of trilogies out there. He does loads of heresy books, some fantastic books. If you haven't got into it, I recommend go out and get some and get into it, because he does do some fantastic series on the actual Dark Angels chapter, both 40k and heresy. So let's get back to the story in this game. Now, obviously the Tyranids are going to be the main foe in this game, but I think there is a whole other story that they're not showing us, and I think it is actually going to involve the Fallen. Now, in the story I've just read, we do get some hints. For example, there's a more important quest. You'll venture deep into the Space Hulk to uncover the dark secrets from within. Now, I think somewhere there's going to be some kind of Fallen Dark Angel on there. I don't know if it's going to be a character like Cypher. I would love it to be Cypher. Maybe he gets involved somehow. But I'm more or less convinced that there is going to be a Fallen somewhere in this Space Hulk. There's something deep, mysteriously going on, and it's something to do with a Fallen, and the Deathwing are there to uncover it, hopefully capture the guy, interrogate him, and we can get some information. So I'm really looking forward going in to this game, just going in and investigating every nook and cranny actually in the ship. I just want to go in with my friends and actually explore everywhere I can. I'm so looking forward to just uncovering all these little tidbits of lore, finding maybe some secret passages and stuff like that. Hopefully there'll be secret passages and stuff, because these Space Hulks are huge, so I'm hoping that the map has some like secret areas you can go and find certain lore places and discover some new information regarding the Dark Angels. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be enough from me in this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, it's nothing major, nothing big. I just wanted to discuss Space Hulk Deathwing, discuss some of the new stuff that's come over the past couple of weeks, and also discuss the release date, which is November. So if you've enjoyed the video, then thanks. If you like the content I give out, please subscribe. And also, if you have a theory of your own about the story in Space Hulk Deathwing, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to read your theories as well. Yeah, get involved with all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day, a nice night if you're watching at night, and yeah, have a good one. Thank you. Bye bye.